Hi everyone and welcome back to yet another short lecture only at DentoTatva. In continuation with our previous lecture that was on the topic setting reaction in silver amalgam, we will now be discussing the manipulation part. So manipulation, I have subdivided the topic into few subheadings. First is trituration. So we need to understand the meaning of the word followed by the purpose. So the meaning is pretty simple, that trituration means mixing of the silver alloy powder along with the mercury. Now purpose is, there are few points. The first thing we need to understand is what trituration is doing, because we are applying so much of pressure when we are doing it with pestle and mortar as well as when we are using an amalgamator. There is pulverization of the pellets, the silver pellets, and these pellets are pulverized into smaller particles which can be easily wetted by the mercury. So there is proper wetting of the silver alloy particles. Second is we are reducing the particle size. There is reduction in the particle size, there is going to be availability of more surface area. So this will result in a faster and more complete amalgamation. Oxide layer coating the silver alloy particles is subsequently going to get removed because of the force that is applied during trituration. The normal mix is going to be lustrous, shiny. It will condense into a plastic workable mass. The surface of this mix will be extremely smooth. Now once we have achieved this mix, we will carry it with the help of an amalgam carrier to the prepared cavity and place it inside the cavity. Now we need to apply pressure so that this plastic mass that we have put inside the prepared cavity adapts to the cavity wall and surfaces. Since amalgam doesn't bond to the tooth surface, it is imperative that we have to apply some sort of pressure, some sort of force is to be applied with stainless steel instruments so that there is adaptation and merging of the amalgam to the cavo surface margin. So the first step here is condensation. We use condensers. Now condensers can be either parallelogram or round condensers with serrated end. These condensers are contra-angled, and the objective behind condensation is the adaptation of the amalgam so that there are no gaps formed between the prepared surface, that is the cavo surface margin, and the restorative material, which can in future lead to micro leakage and secondary caries. So we need to reduce the chances and the probability of such a case arising. Second is when we are applying pressure, there is going to be squeezing out of the excess mercury. Now we don't want excess mercury in our set because it is going to hamper our strength, the amalgam strength, as well as the there is going to be increase in the setting time of the amalgam. And we need to bring the strongest phases of amalgam close to each other, thereby increasing the final strength of the restoration. Now since we are placing amalgam in increments, there is such a big cavity, 2.5 mm depth of the cavity. In one go we cannot fill the entire cavity, so we are placing the small increments and then we are condensing each increment. What this is going to do is reduce the number of voids and chances of any kind of gaps between these two increments. The usual pressure that is applied will be in the range of 3 to 4 lbs. The condensation initially started at the center of the cavity at 45 degrees angle, and subsequently the condensation angle will be 90 degrees. Once all the increments have been placed, we take a large condenser and we apply pressure, we apply heavy condensation force with the largest condenser. This is known as blotting mix. To first do the pre-carve burnishing with the help of a ball burnisher. This is basically continuation of the condensation. Movement is from the restoration towards the cavo surface margin. What this is going to do is, there are few objectives of pre-carve burnishing. We are improving the marginal adaptation of the amalgam. We are reducing the number of voids that might be present. We did it in condensation also, and now we are further reinforcing the same objectives. We are going to further bring the excess mercury to the surface, help us remove it out, and to condition the amalgam surface to the carving procedure. Now with the help of the various carvers that are available like diamond carver, Hollenbach, Wards, we can actually carve out the pit and fissures, grooves and the various fossas. Once we are done with the carving, we will move on to the post-carve burnishing. The surface of the restoration, it is burnished again. Now what is the purpose of this? We are actually smoothing out and removing any remaining irregularities on the restorative surface with the help of ball burnisher. This is going to add the luster and the initial shine before we actually move on to the next finishing procedure with the help of rubber cups, and that is going to remove the superficial scratches and irregularities, minimizing the concentration cell corrosion, and it prevents the adherence of any kind of food particles and subsequent formation of dental plaque. So I hope this lecture is in some way helpful to you people. If there are any queries, please don't forget to ask them in the comment section below. With this, I'll end my lecture. Hope to see you guys again in the next lecture. Bye.